So I've been on a roll lately finding kits, but rest assured that'll stop soon and I won't find anything for 6 months to a year. That's just the way it goes. I'm at the point where I have so many kits and I'm running out of space. I have to be really selective on what I buy. That's why I really only buy deals that are just too good to pass up. And this might be a little out of the norm for my channel. Some of my viewers may not be expecting me to be into a set like this, but I consider vintage 80s and below. So, anything before 1990, personally, I consider vintage. And these are all, like, a lot of the drums I collect, drums that I drooled over as a kid, but never had the room or finances to afford. So this set popped up earlier in the week. Not all deals go completely smooth, and this one certainly didn't. I've had deals that I've worked on for weeks to months to even a year, but when they call, I'm on my way. So this one popped up. I saw it about maybe a half hour after he posted it. I'll pop in a picture of it. And I messaged him. He was inundated with people, and he was getting offers for more than what he was asking. And I went up a little bit, but then he said he needed the money. That's the only reason why he was selling them. And I said, if somebody's going to offer you more money than it's worth to me, go for it. So he arranged to meet up with another guy for more money. I guess what happened, the guy showed up and he couldn't get into his parents' house where the drums were. I saw the ad pop back up. It went from pending back to for sale. So I messaged him again. He told me what happened. I said, all right, I'll come up to 600 and I can meet you tomorrow. And he agreed. The gist of that story is be patient. Stay in contact with the people, whether it's something you really want or something like this that I don't necessarily need. Just keep in contact with them. It may work out. So for me, and this comes back to when I was growing up, there were primarily three places drums were manufactured, and they dominated everything. It was made in the United States, made in Japan, and made in Germany. And Germany was primarily Sonar. So now there's drums produced all over the world, several countries. It's a global thing. There's tons of awesome drums out there coming from different countries. There's tons of great boutique builders here in the United States too. But for me, it's a nostalgic thing. I just really love drums that are made in the United States, Germany, or Japan. Back in the day, Japan had some of the highest quality drums on the market. Their quality control was superior to what was made in the United States, especially in the 80s. Not so much in the 70s, but the 80s definitely, in my opinion. So that's just a little backstory to why I collect what I collect. And it's just my preference, just my opinion. Everybody's got one. So now to the set. It's a mid to late 80s Yamaha Tour Custom. I'll pop in a picture of the catalog. This is in power sizes. It's 10, 12, 14, 16, 22. And where I already own a 1986 Yamaha Recording Custom in quartz gray, I thought this would be a perfect addition to my collection, just to compare the two. These shells are birch and mahogany. My Recording Customs are 100% birch. I can tell you this finish on these drums is beautiful. I can see no difference as far as build quality between this and my Recording Customs. The only difference is the shell makeup. This is just a really cool set. Yamaha, a lot of the manufacturers back in the day did some really cool colors. Like these came in this red, cobalt blue, and yellow. Tama had their colors. A lot of the manufacturers did different colors, and they were just vibrant and really stood out and just awesome looking. So as usual, when I got the set, it was completely disgusting. The guy told me he bought it for his son several years ago. His son played it for a little while and gave up. So they've been sitting ever since, judging by the cobwebs and the gook all over it. I take his word for it. They were pretty nasty. So I just gave these a real quick wipe down, just so I wasn't getting my hands dirty every time I touched them. But look at that finish. It's a transparent red, and it's just gorgeous. When it's polished and really clean, it's gonna look incredible. So there's still some gook on it here and there. So it came with the two cymbal stands.
pasty 17-inch fast crash, which I don't have, so that'll be definitely staying with me. Came with some 13-inch KZ hats. Kind of old school, cool. The hi-hat stand, a DW pedal, and this Pearl 12-inch soprano snare. It's kind of funny because I already have one up there. So I took one of the heads off to show you guys the inside. The insides of these are just as gorgeous as the outside. Incredible build quality. And when I got it, he had his son take it apart. So he took all those little wing nuts off the floor tom, the wing screws off of all the toms and the tom holders, and put them inside the 10 and the 12-inch tom, which is kind of weird. I had to take the heads off to get all the screws. He also took the spurs off and put those inside the bass drum. Weird. Never seen that before, but I don't know how old the kid is, but he's a kid. So yeah, just look at that finish. Incredible. I love it. I think this one will be staying with me. There's very few marks in the shells too. There's a few there on the 14. And I think the 10 and the 12 have a couple little ones on the other side. But that's about it. The bass drum has no marks on it, which is very unusual for a power tom set. So I'll pop in a little clip of me banging on it so you can hear what it sounds like. Even with these beat up heads, I'm going to be ordering new heads for it. But even with these beat up heads, they sound really great in my opinion. And they have these little 0 rings on here, which I get a ton of. I usually just toss them to the side and do new heads or pre-muffled heads. But I'm going to leave those on here for now, just because that's what's there. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. All that stuff. If you're new here, welcome. I really appreciate it. And thanks a lot.